the Robert and Ann Drew Award for Documentary Excellence. This prize comes with a $5,000 gift donated by Drew Associates in the memory of the documentary pioneers Robert and Ann Drew. Each year, our programming team deliberates with Jill Drew from Drew Associates to select a filmmaker for their distinguished use of observational filmmaking. Past honorees in this category are Laura Poitras, Kim Loginato, and Dawn Porter. This year, we chose a filmmaking team in Heidi Ewing and Rachel Grady. Their new film, One of Us, is playing on the Doc NYC shortlist. Our presenter today is a past Doc NYC Lifetime Achievement winner. She's a two-time Oscar winner and has a new film making its world premiere at the festival called A Murder in Mansfield. Please welcome Barbara Kopple.
Woo! It's really tremendous for me to be here, and I have so much energy from all of you, and to see the faces that I love and the people I've worked with and hope to work with again, and just the people who I adore and don't get to see enough of, bringing us all together in this sense of community. We should do it much more often, Tom. Anyway, I had the great privilege to meet Robert Drew and Ann Drew. They were simply wonderful people. Sundance was doing an interview with Robert Drew a long time ago, and I got to sit in the room because I was the next interview and got to listen to him and got to hear about Drew Associates and got to hear about how he wanted to try new methods and to make films that really mattered. And so I investigated them, and I saw this amazing film that they did. It was called Primary, and it was 1960, and it was John F. Kennedy and Hubert Humphrey, their primary. And the amazing thing about all of this is it was the first film to use handheld cameras. So you really got to see and to feel the intimacy. The people who were shooting this film and editing this film were my heroes, were my mentors, were the people that I adored more than anything else. Albert Maysles, Richard Leacock, and editing it, our wonderful D.A. Pennybaker. I'm gonna clap for him. The film showed up close and personal Hubert Humphrey, who I guess thought of himself as the working man's candidate. I think there was a little song that they would sing for him to the tune of Davy Crockett, like Hubert Humphrey, the working man's candidate. And when he spoke and they were filming him, you could see him really trying to talk about how conservative he was and all of the different things he was going to do for people. With John and Jackie, you'd see them going through crowds. You see camera people coming at them, trying to get photos, and you just watched how they walked. You saw them in their downtime, and it was revolutionary. Robert Drew once wrote, I hope I can see this. Here it is. If you want to make cinema verite, make sure your timing is right. That is, you want to imagine the story that will happen, to be there when it happens, capture it on film or tape without directing or distorting reality, and edit to convey the feeling of being there. Well, Rachel Grady and Heidi Ewing. this is what you have done so well in all your work, again and again. Also, being able to work together has been so amazing. To have somebody that you work with, that you trust, that you have each other's backs, that you can really talk about the story. I mean, it's things we all dream of. There are others that have that too, like Chris Hedgemus and D.A. Pennybaker and Ricky Stern and Annie Sundberg. And I'm so jealous. I wish in my life I had somebody I could talk about to all these things. But you complement each other and you make it work, and it makes your films that much more extraordinary. In thinking about some of your films that have moved me, I could go on all day, but I will not, but I am going to mention them. Boys of Baraka. What a phenomenal film you put together. I remember seeing images of young boys hiding behind the street blocks so they wouldn't have to watch what was happening in the street. People being arrested, people shot. I remember a scene inside an auditorium where a teacher was telling these beautiful boys that you were filming with fresh faces and so much hope in their eyes, saying, you guys, you have 3 choices. You can either wear an orange suit with bracelets, you can wear a really beautiful suit and be in a big brown box, or you can go to Africa and you can go to this school and you'll learn, there'll be so much hope, they'll get you out of here, it's your choice. And these boys really wanted to go. I remember a mother being asked, you have 2 sons, what if only one of your sons can go? And she said, then one would come back a king and one would become a criminal. The boys went to Kenya, and there's also so much drama that happened there of the school closing. But Heidi and Rachel caught every moment. They never interjected themselves there. You really got to see and you got to feel those moments. Your next film, and that was also your first film, your first collaboration together. So I figure if you could get through that, you could get through anything. Your next film was the documentary tradition Jesus Camp. Nominated for an Academy Award, a film that I'm sure you had ideas of how you felt about it, but you placed us as audience right in the middle of that, right in the middle of, you know, right-wing religion, of young, beautiful faces talking about Jesus without any judgment whatsoever. I have an intern who's working with me. He's from Austria, and he is mad about you two. He just thinks your films are fantastic, particularly Jesus Camp. And I brought him to go see your new film, One of Us, at the Metrograph Theater. And he said, you think I'll get to meet them? I said, yeah, I think you will. And so we went in and we watched it. And afterwards, I introduced him to Rachel and to Heidi. And Rachel, I don't know why you wanted to do this, but you did it, went up to him and said, so how old are you? And he said, 26. And she said, come here, I want to talk to you. So she went over and they started talking, and she said, "Tell me honestly, which film you like better?" This poor kid, his face was all red, and he just stood there and he said, "Jesus Camp, it's my cult film." And for me, when I heard that, it meant that your films just reached out to everybody. I'm going to go directly to One of Us, and I think with that film, you have just overdone yourselves. The camera work in that, although so difficult, was amazing, using cameras with long lenses, really creating the intimacy, cameras with mirrors and filming into a place that we've never been before, the Hasidic community, and really feeling what their lives were like, and meeting these 3 courageous people who wanted to leave, knowing the stakes, knowing that they may never see their families again, knowing that they're going to be out on their own. And one of the people was a young woman named Etta, who so impressed me. She has 7 children, and she knew she would have to go to court and to fight for them, and it was a Hasidic court. Then she knew that she would lose, but she kept on fighting. And she gets to see her children sometimes. Now she's going to college. And because Rachel and Heidi are the people that they want everybody to be successful, whether it's fellow documentarians or the characters in their films. I read on Facebook that they are now soliciting for a fund to be able to put Eddie through college. And these are the people that are so wonderful, that have moved me so much. Plus, they're so much fun to be with. You go out and then you enjoy every moment of them. Okay, Heidi, pay attention. And to think that these 2 beautiful women are only in their mid-career. What can we expect from them in the time that comes? So why don't you join us on stage to accept the Robert and Andrew Award for Documentary Excellence.
We are so embarrassed.
So embarrassed. Well, I'm Heidi. This is Rachel. And growing up in and around Detroit, I never thought that Barbara Kopple would ever introduce me to anyone or for anything. And I sure as hell never thought I would be at Errol Morris's bar mitzvah. So we're so honored to accept this generous award that celebrates observational filmmaking. And Jill, it was so nice to meet you today. Your father-in-law, Robert, is one of our heroes of the genre, along with some people in this room. Barbara Kopple, Chris, and Penny. We very humbly are trying to follow in your footsteps, and because we want to be just like you. So thank you very much. Okay, so we were a little thrown by the mid-career thing. I mean, we might seem mid because we started Loki Film 17 years ago, but we were only 11 years old. And our parents had to drive us to location for the Boys of Baraka, like bag lunches and stuff. But so there's been a misunderstanding, but thank you for the award. We're not going to give it back. Before I throw to you, we're throwing to each other. We're trying to do this double throw. But before I throw to you, Rachel, I just want to say it's been fun like 99% of the time. And that's more than I can say for most of my friends. So now I'm throwing it to you.
Yeah, time flies. So about this mid-career. I keep telling that dumb joke and she gets so mad. So what does it mean to be in the middle? It means sharing creative growth with a tribe of other seekers, many of whom are in the room today. It also means you know more than half the people in the room very well and maybe have been kind of drunk with some of them yesterday. Some of you know who you are. In fact, every person that has given us opportunities in our career is in this room right now. And I'll name a few of them. Kara Mertes and Simon Kilmurray and Molly Thompson and Eamon Bowles and Victoria Cook and Josh Braun and Tom Quinn and David Fankel and Orlando Bagwell and Sarah Bernstein and Lisa Nishimura. And also, of course, a quick love bomb to Anat Sidi, who is our collaborator and our sister.
And not to be forgotten, not that she'd ever be forgotten. Sheila, the queen, Nevins, watching your global domination this year has been so, seriously, I know you're staring at me, it's been really fun. I know you meet a lot of people pitch you ideas. I'm sure you have zero memory of this, but the first time we came to pitch you, we were super nervous. We'd been like summoned to your office. We felt like it was so, and we walk in all ready to kind of pitch you ideas and wow you, and you're giving yourself a pedicure. Yeah, and it was this red color, and I was like, is that $1 million red? Does it mean we're gonna get a big commission today? Is it development deal mauve? And I remember this very, very well, and when we made 12th and Delaware together, you gave us a career high when we were having sort of a heated back and forth with you, me, and Rachel about some notes on the movie, and you turned and you said, you know you girls can't bully me. And we were so excited that you think that, and it was like Sheila Nevins got bullied in other fairy tales. That was like a big moment for us. Are we bullying Sheila Nevins? Yes. We are somebody. Sorry, I'm gonna go quick now. See, I can't believe anyone ever puts us in front of a microphone. So Rachel and I often talk around when we're trying to figure out our next film about trying to make a body of work that actually matters, a trajectory, a body of work in our life. And I think everybody in this room, I know we all have that in common. And we're all creating a body of work together for this generation. It's just a fact. No one's gonna look for old episodes of Rachel Maddow. They're gonna find the films that were made at this time. And it's not that I believe that we can change the times. I believe that we're reflecting what it's like to be alive right now. And all of us are here trying to make sense of the human experience. It's like messy and mysterious. And we're so grateful for all of those who encourage our work and the work of all of our amazing colleagues here, the programmers and the festivals and the financiers who encourage all of us to do this very hard job, this very privileged job. It's a long story, but I learned a lot of Yiddish last year. And I feel a lot of nachas right now, a lot of pride for you goyim out there. A lot of nachas to be part of this special and tight community, and we're really grateful for you including us in that community.
So I think she's here. I haven't seen her, but our friend and fellow filmmaker Marilyn Ness and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and she was telling me that she grew up in a very religious community, and it was a community that did not encourage questioning, and that as an adult she kind of had discovered her new religion, which was making documentaries, and she was able to surround herself with people that definitely questioned and did so in your face, and that that made a lot of sense to me. I can relate to that religion. So Heidi and I, a few years back, we attended a memorial for Mark Levin, who's right there, his dad, Al, which Sheila threw. I don't know if you remember this, but, and Al was super cool, kind of old school, rabbi, social activist, filmmaker, type, awesome guy. And his buddy Bill Moyers was eulogizing him, and he told us Al's advice. And it stuck with me, and it's something that I, not just in my work, but I kind of try and remember and hold on to all the time. And he said, don't waste your time getting close to those who are the most powerful. Instead, get as close as possible to those who speak the truth. That's where the story is. And I very much agree with that. And that's what Heidi and I are trying to do. And that's what we're going to keep doing. And we want to say we are humbly thankful, and we have so much respect for everyone in this room.
And we forgot to bring our
were
glasses
gonna
of
say
wine up
cheers,
here.
but-
Why don't you all raise your glass, please?
Cheers.
And for the community, please let's raise a toast, even though we don't have our glasses. Here's to all
Like
of you.
fist bump.
And thanks again, Tom and Rafaela, for this wonderful
you so
event.
much.
It's really special. Thank you very much.